Hey guys, Dr. Christy Ennis. Welcome to Follow Me Friday, where motion is lotion for our legs, even if our knees are not happy about it. I have had Lyme disease and some other things that have left me with a fair amount of swelling and pain in my joints that come on frequently. And when I do these exercises, especially all the way to the end, I feel awesome mentally and physically, getting that heart rate up, getting some strength, and getting some mobility. All right, starting with a little warm up. Be next to something sturdy if you need it, or you can work on your balance. We're gonna start with one leg and we're just gonna let it swing, literally, right? We're gonna use momentum, woohoo, baby, to help us out a little bit here. And no need to count, you can just follow along, but we're gonna do about 15 on each side. So that's 9, and I'm getting those hips moving, right? 10, 5 more, 5, 4, 3, use those arms, 2, and 1. That gets the spine involved a little bit, other leg. If you really need a little bit more loosening, which I can tell you most times I do, and I do this before I exercise, that's when I pull out the Derma Edge. Helps to get blood flow going. You get a little bit of those layers unstuck so things glide a little better. I even have some clients tell me they use it before bed so that they feel better the next morning. I'll link that for you guys too. That's something I created. Excuse me. Whew. Already having trouble breathing. That's because I'm having trouble breathing. We got a couple more to go here. Whew. Right? Told you we were going to get our heart rates up too. Okay, from here, I'm going to step back just a touch. We're going to add a little kick forward. Okay, so we're loosening up those hamstrings and starting to get those hip flexors working as well. We're going to do 20 total. So that's 5, 6. Try to stay nice and upright. Don't let yourself crunch down, right? 8, 9, 10. That's halfway. 9, 8, 7. You can add arm movement too. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, one more exercise, kind of a warm up. We're going to take one leg, shift just a touch, and then you're going to start circling that leg. So we're going to go 10 in each direction. This time we're controlling it with our muscles a little bit more, not as much gravity here. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. So working all of those hip muscles here. And the hips play a huge role in helping to stabilize the knee, right? So we're not just working the knee, right? We're really working those hips. 2, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And when you are working on that standing leg, even though the leg that's moving is working, the standing leg is too, and you're using that whole leg actually to help you out here. 4, 5, 6, determined not to fall over today. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, moving on. We're going to do 2 little side steps to the side. So it's step, step, and then back to the other side. Step, step. Now, if you want to make this a little harder, you can come down into a little bit of a squat. Pay attention to how your knees feel, right? So if you're like, don't really feel like going down that far, just go down a little or don't go down at all. And if you really don't want to get into this position, totally fine. You can make it a little bit harder by putting a band either above the knees, or if you put that band a little lower, and the lower down you go, the harder it will be. Got lots of options here, right? Whew. So really working those side bunsies and those back bunsies. We're going to do a couple more here. Each side, one more round. Notice I'm trying not to waddle as I do this, and sometimes that is a hard thing. Okay, next up, we're going to work those calves because, yeah, those are important for the knees too. So you can start out by just coming all the way up onto those toes with both feet, right? You can make that a little harder by letting just one leg do most of the work. So I've got my toes helping me out, but now my right leg is really doing most of that work. Or, and I don't know if I can do this one, woo, I can, look at that. Yay! You can do it, whoops, maybe not for much, on one leg. Again, you can always use a little support here too, right? We're gonna do one more and then I'm switching sides. So if you're on 2 legs, you get to do 20 on 2 legs. Oh boy, more. Otherwise, you're doing 10 on each side. So here's 2. I'm not even going to try one leg on this side right now. 3. Some days are better than others. 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to use something extra sturdy for the next few exercises after this too. 9, one more here, and 10. These next 3 are a little bit harder, so if your knee is bothering you today, make sure you have something really nice and sturdy to just give that leg a little bit of support. So I'm gonna face my bar, and it can be a counter, it doesn't have to be a bar screwed into the wall. Standing on one leg, I'm gonna think about shifting my hips back. There's a little bend in that standing leg, and this is the starting position. This leg is gonna stay bent, and I'm gonna come out to the side without shifting my hips. So again, if you wanna work on balance or if your leg feels good today, go ahead and do so, but don't feel bad if you have to hold on and give yourself a little bit of support. And sometimes it goes back and forth as you start to move along here. We're gonna do 10 like this, and then you're gonna keep that leg out there. That's 7, 8, again, working both sides here, 9, and 10. This is harder. Try to keep that leg lifted. Again, a little bend in that straight leg, and then we're going kicking it out. And this is a butt burner, let me tell you. Again, you can use a band too, but you may find that you just don't even need it. If this is too much, just stick with that little fire hydrant that we just did there, and that's a great way to get into this. Or just do a couple here, right? We've got 3 more on this one, and then 1 more with this leg, and then we're gonna switch sides. Last one. Okay, still staying in that same position. I'm gonna tap that leg down and squeeze those glutes as I lift. It's hard to see my glute squeeze it because I'm wearing a little running skirt, but trust me, I am. That's 4, 5. Again, feel free to play around with how much stability you use, just don't fall. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, switching sides. And then after these, we will go right onto the ground. So again, take that hip and shift it on back, bend that other knee, and now I'm raising out to the side. And notice I'm not leaning or turning here as I'm doing this, hopefully. If I am, point it out. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't lose that little single leg deadlift either. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now hold that out there, and this is where it gets even harder not to shift. I think I did a little bit there, but I'm doing my best. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stay there, almost done. Tap that leg behind, squeeze those glutes and lift. Notice I'm not lifting very high, because if I did, I would start to use my back. We only have about 20 degrees of hip extension, so it's okay if you don't lift high. That's 5, 6, hamstrings 2 working, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. You're gonna go down onto the ground, or if that's uncomfortable to get down to the floor, we're gonna go onto the bed. All right, here we go, ending with a few on the ground or on the bed. You're gonna straighten one leg out. Think about tightening this quad muscle up by pushing that knee down just a little bit. And then we're gonna lift up off the ground. Notice I'm not lifting super high, but we're using those quads and those hip flexors now. Even those abs a little bit if you focus on trying not to arch your back as you're lifting, right? We're gonna do 10 on each side, so that's 4, 5, 6. I brought my sexy voice today. 7, 8, or my puberty voice, I guess too. 9, and 10. Other side, same idea. Tighten that quad up first, toes are up, and then we're lifting for 1, 2, 3, 4, and this other leg can go wherever it's comfortable. 5, I have it bent to help protect my back a little bit too. That's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Bending both knees. Again, the closer they are to the butt, the more strain tends to be on the knee, so play around with that a little bit. If you can, tuck that tailbone, otherwise just leave it where it is. Think about squeeze those glutes, and you're gonna lift up as high as you can without arching through the spine, and that includes that rib cage too. So working those hamstrings and glutes a little bit more here. After we do 10, we're gonna hold it up there for one last little bridge exercise. That's 3, and obviously I have little shorts on. 4, I love these skirts. 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, we're holding it up. 9 and 10. All right, keeping those hands on those hips to make sure that they stay level. You're going to lift one knee and then the other. So it's really the leg on the ground that has to work the hardest here. We're going to do 20 total if you can. If you're finding this too much, just hold that bridge position without moving those knees, and that's okay. That's 8, 9, 10. We're almost there. 10, 9. That almost sounded like Grover. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.